Hello everyone and welcome along to what I learned this week. This week we're going to cover off on LMI or Lender's Mortgage Insurance, which is something which is quite common for people to take out. Anecdotally, I hear it's about 1 in every 5 new loans in Oz. So Lender's Mortgage Insurance is for loans that are, a little higher risk and that have got a higher LVR. So if you're over 80% LVR, LVR being loan to value ratio or proportion of your property that is funded with debt. So I find it's easier just to work with numbers. So on $1 million purchase, say for example, for the sake of easy numbers, if we're taking out an $800,000 loan, in that scenario, we're at 80% LVR, we don't have to worry about Lender's Mortgage Insurance or guarantor loans or any of that sort of complexity, which is really nice. If we're going over and above that 80%, no worries. We just have to start to look at, as I say, guarantor loan potentially, or maybe Lender's Mortgage Insurance. So, first things first, Lender's Mortgage Insurance is capitalised onto the loan. So say, for example, once again, let's work back to this $1 million scenario. You want to take out a loan of $880,000. What happens is the Lender's Mortgage Insurance is actually basically added on top of that $880,000. So your end loan amount may end up being closer to $900,000, say for example, once we add on that Lender's Mortgage Insurance. The other thing to mention is it is there to protect the lender. It isn't there to protect the borrower. So it's essentially the loans. This is actually where I think a broker and choice of lender is invaluable. And that's for 3 main reasons. The first one being rate. Each bank will do different things to their rates when you go over and above 80% LVR. Some will change their variable rates, some will change their fixed rates. They all have slightly different approaches, and we have to, as a broker, have to make sure that we're directing you into the loan that's going to best suit you and that's going to be the most competitive interest rate. The other one is cost of LMI. So there's a couple of different LMI providers, and I found in the past I can save clients maybe $500, maybe $1,000, up to $2,000, depending on which Lender's Mortgage Insurance provider we go with. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is some banks have the ability to what's called self-insure. So the insurer's basically given them a license to sign loans off and take out the insurance. Other banks will have to go and check with their insurer that the circumstances are all okay, and they'll have a look at the loan and the financial circumstances as a whole. In that case, we've kind of got to get through 2 credit policies essentially. So we've got to get through the bank's credit policy, and then we've got to get through the insurer's credit policy. A classic example is probation. Insurers are very nervous about approving LMI loans in probation. So you can find a lender that is comfortable with it, but then an insurer that's not. There are banks that we can get it done with, but the key thing is, myself as a broker, make sure it's scoping that out in front. So you can see there, rates are different for every lender, LMI cost is different for every lender, and some of them self-insure and some of them don't. So there are credit policy considerations. So you can see it gets quite, a little bit more complicated, but that, as I say, I think is the value of bringing a broker for an LMI deal. The other thing is there are LMI exceptions out there. So if you're a doctor or medical practitioner, you may qualify for them. Accountant and lawyers as well. There's normally an income threshold. There are some lenders which will restrict the amount you can borrow as a result, but typically you can go up to about 90% LVR without having to pay that LMI. So it can be an incredibly useful tool and can save you quite a bit of money. Anyways, hopefully that helps give you a bit of a better understanding of LMI or Lender's Mortgage Insurance. As per usual, got any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section. Thanks very much for tuning in.